Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now on today's video we're going to be talking about morale. No, we're not. Scrap that. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Admiral Pegasus. This is the Pegasus Show, and on today's show we are going into States Part 2, and today we are going to be looking at burning. Again, pretty much what we did with the whole breach. We're going to be looking at where you can use burning, what are the officers, and what's the background effect. Now thankfully there's going to be no fancy dancy maths in this one, so we don't need to worry too much about that, but we can look at the officers in specifically. But let's start at the beginning. Where can we use burning? Well, anywhere in the game, literally anywhere in the game. It can work in PvP, it can work in PvE, it can work against marders. Now, same as hull breach, when it comes to armadas, it will, in the solo armadas, it will affect it. All you need is burning on one ship. So let's just say like Newton, which is sat here in Romanian territory at the minute, use it on there and it will affect the other two ships as well. So you can put like the Met on the Defiant, and let's think of another burning officer, Cerberus as well, who requires burning. You can put him on one of the Meridians that's mining Isogen. Well, actually they're waiting for me to reset them. So there is various. So burning will affect the other two ships. Now as well, when it comes to group armadas, again, same principle applies, but obviously this is going up to anywhere up to 6 friends of yours, depending on where you are on your ACC level. I can have 5 friends join me in a group armada. Obviously when I reach level 50, I will be able to increase that to 6, so there'll be 7 of us in total. But again, burning will affect every single ship in that fleet. It's in that armada. So brilliant place to use it. Burning obviously will as specific officers with specific traits that need that burning, and like I said, we'll talk about the background effect in just a moment. So what officers do we actually have for burning? Well, for that we're going to have to jump into the officers tab and actually have a look at what officers do create burning. So once again, like we did with Hull Breach, we're going to organize them into their groups. And the first officer we are going to come to that can proc burning. Now let me just double check my list. Yep, okay, so we don't have one at the beginning. But what we do have is we have Nero. Now Nero is one of your 2 primary burning officers, yes, and the same with Hull Breach. You're going to have 2 that you will primarily use. Nero is going to be one of them. Obviously, one of the original epics that entered the game at the beginning in November 2018, same as Kirk, the same as Gorkon. So now, obviously, his officer ability is not proccing burning, but it uses burning. At the beginning of each round, the opponent's ship is burning. Nero increases damage of the weapons by 40%. So that's a nice little boost, but please bearing in mind as well, that's 40% of your base weapon damage. So to work it all out, you have to go into each individual weapon, work out your minimum, your maximum, work out your average, and then do 40% of that. That is it, 40% of that. But this is the ability that procs burning. Every time the ship strikes an opponent with a weapon attack, Nero has a 50% chance of burning it for 2 rounds. Basically, whenever you fire a shot, yeah, he's got a 50-50 chance of proccing burning. Now, let's put this into simple terms. That's 1 in every 2 rounds. Now, obviously, it's not going to work that way because it's basically going to be 50% each and every single round that you fire a shot. So the more weapons that you fire in that round, the better his chances of proccing, because it'll be 50% each and every single weapon that fires, and because weapons never miss in this game, yet they never miss in this game. Even torpedoes have got a 100% accuracy. You've always got that 50% chance of burning. And so obviously it lasts for 2 rounds. So when you get it pocketing in round 1, it'll still be there in round 2. So, but like I say, Nero will keep going. So yes, a very decent burning officer. So yeah. Right, so next up then, so we're going to go down the list now. Now, I know with Hull Breach, we had an extra officer that procced Hull Breach. Now, I didn't actually check this one. No, that doesn't need it. Watch the world burn. As long... Yeah, so this was a primary that you'd use earlier on in the game. As long as the enemy is burning, Kumak increases your armor, shield, and dodge, so basically mitigation by 100%. Bear in mind, mine is maxed out, so you have to check out your own stats to see what that stands at. But this is an officer where we would actually put him as captain, use his captain's ability because he's increasing stats by 5%, and then put Nero on the side. So Nero is probably actually more beneficial on the side. And also if you wanted to use, actually it wasn't him, was it? It was actually Vermette, where Feel the Heat. This is an anti-Spock, obviously, what is it? Decreasing shield health. So by 750%. Obviously, when you get into G4, this is neither here nor there because it can't do enough to actually bring those shields down. So yeah, once you get into G4, kind of redundant officer really. So no, there's no other officer in the original set that procs burning. So now, moving on to the next available officer on my list. And where is he? Where is she? There she is Merrick. Now, again, this is one of those ones where really you won't have him on the bridge. Every time the ship gets hit by a weapon, Merrick has a 20% chance of burning the opponent's ship for 1 round. Now, this will happen every time a weapon is fired at your ship. So if you go up against the traders, that's 1 weapon a round, unless you find the heavy traders in the capital systems, in which case once every 2 rounds, because they're kinetic. But basically, every weapon that fires, it doesn't matter how many shots it's got, it will be that 1 weapon. So if you've got 3 weapons in 1 round, you've got 3 chances of proccing burning, but it is small. It is only 20%, so just bear that in mind when you actually go for this one. So that's Merrick. Next up, again, is another Romulan, and yet to be perfectly honest, most of these are Romulan with the exception of a select few, which actually, there's only 3 Romulan officers, to be honest. And again, it's this one here. When the ship hull health goes below 80%, so yeah, doesn't proc straight away. Yeah, it goes on to 80% its value at the start of combat. She has an 80% chance of proccing burning for 3 rounds. Again, I don't know if this one's bugged or like Kang is, so it could be 2 rounds, it might be 3 rounds, I don't know. I've never tested it. To be honest, I'm not even that fussed. I want her, when I use her, primarily for this, because this is brilliant on Voyager going after those Erosion elites. As I found recently, going up against level 47s, I went from getting around about 16,000 relic, Hunter relics, to around about 46 to 50,000, somewhere in there. So yeah, she was absolutely brilliant on the bridge. So that's where your primary user. You can use her in PvP as well. So, but with the officer ability, you can take that chance if you want. If you want to test it, crack on and see what it is. I mean, I'd be interested to see what results you actually get of this. But again, it's not an officer that I would ideally put on the bridge because it is limited. Because once she procs that 1 time, that is it. That is it. She will not, well, as far as I'm aware, she won't proc again after that. It's 3 rounds, that's it. So, now, if I am wrong, please correct me in my Discord with a screenshot showing me she procced multiple times. I mean, if you got to tag multiple screenshots for that one thing, do it, because it'll be interesting to actually see. And for other players who are unfamiliar Chavanik's actual captain's ability working, so it would be interesting. So moving on the list then is we're going to scroll a little bit further down and just trying to find the next available officer. So that's the only problem is when you've got this. Then I've got to stand here rabbiting on. But here we go. Here's our next one. Now this one is a niche burning officer because there is only one specific way this will proc. When defending a capture node, so basically you've got to be sat on a capture node. At the start of each round, Arium has a 95% chance of burning the opponent for that round. So, very powerful, no questions asked, proc pretty much all the time that you're sat on that node. It doesn't need the ship to be hit, or it doesn't need you to fire a weapon. As long as you're sat on that node, that capture node in territory, she will proc burning. And that's going to benefit officers such as Ash Tyler here, where his... Now, let's work this one out correctly. Not that one, but this one, the Beast Inside. At the start of each round, if the opponent is burning, Tyler increases damage of the ship by 100%, the total attack stats of officers on the ship. And it stacks. It stacks. So as long as they're burning, which Arium pretty much will keep it going, he will actually boost your damage. And obviously put Ash in the captain seat and Arium on the side. When defending a capture node, again, defending that capture node. So Arium and Ash would probably be the best set to add together. Although probably not maybe everyone's first choice. Ash Tyler gives all officers of the ship a bonus of 60% to their attack. So this will also affect his own stats. And it will affect his officer's ability. So win-win all round for that one, especially with territory changes coming up at the time of recording this video. This could be a nice set. Stick it on your sarcophagus ship. So yeah, you're going to have to dust them off, get them ready. And there we go. So we've got Arium, we've got procking Ash. Next one up is going to be everyone's favourite is Philippa Giorgio from the Discovery crew. And again, it is down to her officer's ability. But again, like Lorca for Hull Breach, at the beginning of each round, Giorgio has a 75% chance of proccing burning for 2 rounds. Now, to me, this is better than Nero. And this is your second primary burning officer. PvP, PvE, Armadas, all round. But again, it's only 75%. Nero's 50%, but Nero needs you to fire a weapon. Giorgio doesn't. She will proc at the start of a fight. Well, there's a 75% chance she'll proc. Nero, yeah, like I said, you need to fire a weapon, and then you've got a 50-50 chance. But again, if you've got 3 weapons in that first round, that's what? 3 times 1. That's 3 times 50% chance. So you've literally got a 1.5 in 3 chance of actually proccing burning, which will last 2 rounds. This will last 2 rounds. Yep, decent officer, no questions asked. And as well, it will also affect her captain's ability. At the start of each round, if the opponent is burning, Giorgio decreases the attack of all officers on the opponent's ship by 100% for that round. So this is a PvP feature. Yes, a PvP feature, which will be good. So if you're going up against an Ash Tyler, she's going to wipe Ash Tyler out. But again, she needs burning to proc. So, and obviously Ash Tyler needs burning on your opponent's ship to proc as well. So, yeah, absolutely interesting combination. I'd love to see a fight on that one. Now, so that's your 2 primary officers. Next up is most likely going to be one of the strike team's crew, and I'm sure you all know who this is going to be. This is going to be Strike Team Lalan. She's the epic of the Battleship Strike Team, and it comes down to not a captain's ability. However, when fighting a battleship, when on a battleship fighting a burning player ship, At the start of each round, Lalanne has a chance to increase the number of shots by 10%. Obviously, that will increase with synergy with the other two officers, so other three officers, which is Strike Team Una, Strike Team Ortegas, or or Jack Ransom. Not Strike Team Ransom, but he is part of the Strike. We do not have a Battleship Strike Team officer to replace Ortegas yet, because Una is the one that actually makes this team work splendidly. But again, increasing the number of shots, I think you've got a chance to go to 100% on this one. Not 100% sure. Backdoor. When on a battleship, when fighting a player, each time your ship hits with a weapon, so pretty much the same as Nero, Lalanne has a 60% chance of causing burn-in for 3 rounds. So this can happen every single round. Again, you need to fire a weapon and hit the enemy. Again, it's a 100% hit rate, so it's gonna have you're gonna have that 60% chance. 3 weapons, 3 rolls of the dice on doing this damage. Getting this burning. So yeah, pretty good. But again, like I say, Battleship Strike Team was considered one of the strongest one. I think Hull Breach now has sort of become the strongest one and is more the players' go-to when it comes to strike teams. So now moving on, next burning officer is going to be Pick Riker. Yes, Pick Riker again. Captain's ability at the start of a round has a 90% chance of applying burn-in for 3 rounds against player ships. So, literally, you could say sort of a replacement for Strike Team Lalanne until you actually get her. Again, I'm 41 shards short of actually getting him. So there'll be no me using this. But, again, 90% chance. Pretty damn good. You can't grumble. Almost as good as Arium if Arium wasn't so niche. And then obviously with the officer's ability, increasing damage against player battleships. So again, put him on a battleship, strike team battleship, or battleship strike team, should we say? And he's gonna help damage that strike team. Whether he can actually beat the battleship strike team is another question, but again, it's there for you to test if you really want to and if you've actually got him. We don't have any solid sourcing for Pick Riker at minute in game. However, there is various events, actually one event, which is an SMS or an ALB, when you're getting Taco Bells. Yay! But yeah, I'm not even going to go into that one. So we have Pick Riker. And then finally, you've all guessed it. Yes, it's our Delta Quadrant chef himself, all-round ambassador, morale officer. Actually, he's not a morale officer. No, he's a burning officer. Now we're cooking. You could sort of say, like, because he's in the kitchen trying to burn Voyager down. Has a 10% chance to apply burn-in for 1 round against non-player hostiles or armadas. So, again, not fully niche, but down on the niche in regards to PvE, gold hostiles, and armadas. You can't use him in combat. I don't know how many players are using him for his burning ability, but again, tier 1, 10%, tier 5, 100%. So worth getting up as soon as you can. Sourcing for Neelix is not yet been announced as a time of recording, but yeah, it's definitely going to be one that you work. Now, please note as well with this officer, because as everyone knows, we have a specific officer that we all, I've got a really itchy nose in a minute, a specific officer that we all like to use when it comes to, really itchy today. One officer that we like to use is Tal. Yes, Tal. However, because apparently it breaks the game doing this, Neelix will not proc Tal's ability. Now, I'm not going to argue with this one. I don't know how it breaks the game. I don't understand it. It breaks the game. Okay, fine, fair dues. Bit of a shit deal, but there it is. Obviously, most people will primarily use Neelix for this one, which is increasing your efficiency of the deuterium canisters when summoning. Or actually, no, just using the deuterium canisters in general on Voyager, when he's assigned to Voyager. So, but they're your officers. So, that's it with the officers. Now, the background effect. Yeah. Now, like I said, there's going to be no silly maths on this one. Yay! Because the background effect is actually so small. And to be perfectly frank, there is no way to actually figure it out in a battle log short of actually doing maths. Now, I will give you a quick run through on how to do the maths. But again, yeah. So let's just take this immortal ship here. And we're going to see if this little bit works. So what you're going to do is you're going to scroll down to health. Click on the I button. Oh, look at that. You're not getting anything. Okay, so what you're looking at here, you're going to look at the stats over there, and it says 12.88 million hull health. So what you'll do is you'll take that, and then you'll do the background effect, which is a 1% reduction in hull every round. 1% reduction. Now again, it's relatively small. 1% of a million obviously is what, 1,000? Yeah. Very small. No, sorry, 10,000, sorry. 10,000. Yeah. It's still going to take you 100 hits to actually do it. But this is why content creators also say when it comes to taking on like the big G5 players in territory, swarm it with Rialtas running burning. As long as burning procs, yeah, burning has to proc, you will be able to do that 1% damage. So it's literally just taking that and then go through the number of rounds. So you need to take off 1% each and every single round. So let's just say for argument, let's go into the actual battle log. So this lasted 5 rounds. So I've hit it with a weapon here. Just say for instance, I'm burning. Take 1% off its hull health there. So off its remaining hull health, I might add remaining. So by the time we get that, where's the last weapon we fired? So we took 289,000 off the hull on this last shot right here. So whatever hull's left over, you're going to take 1% off that at the end of this round. Round 2, again, you're going to go through the number of times that you hit. So there's the last shot. So we took 329,500 off this one. So again, taking off all the weapon damage, all the hull damage that you've done in that round, after what you was left over at the end of round 1, and then by the end of round 2, you're going to take another 1% off whatever is remaining. So the amount of damage that this burning background effect will cause decreases every single round. But again, it is effective. It is effective, providing you can get one shot fired off against a target. And again, in PvE, using PvE crews, as long as you can get that one shot fired, you can take, eventually, after painstakingly fighting against a G5 ship, you can take down a G5 ship. But again, it's going to take you a hell of a long time. A hell of a long time. It could actually take you more than 100 kills. It could take you more than 100 kills. 100 destructions, should we say, of your ship going boom. So, but that's burning. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it's provided you an insight into burning and helped you decide on which officers would actually be ideal to use when it comes to burning. I don't know what else I can say on this one, but thank you for joining me. I'm Admiral Pegasus, this is the Pegasus Show. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out and click the subscribe button to the channel. As well, if you want to donate to the channel, the descriptions are in the description, the links, sorry, are in the description below. And channel memberships are also available if you would wish to support the channel. Until then, thank you for joining me. Stay safe, live long and prosper. Goodbye.